up your engine! People are always looking for good full-size SUVs. Here's a 2011 Lexus GX 460 that a customer just bought, and I'm going to show you the whole truth about it. Now, brand new, this was a $58,000 SUV. Customer just bought it for $20,000 from a used car lot. He said he likes the new ones, but there's no way he wants to spend that kind of money for a new one. And you can see, even though this thing's 9 years old, it's in excellent shape. It's a Lexus. They are very well made. Now, he was happy with the 460. A lot of people say, I'm going to get the 570, the biggest one. Just realize a brand new big one with a 3-row seating like this has $94,000. They're not giving them away. Now, as you can see here, this has 3-row seating. The seats are folded down here, and it's somewhat cramped 3-row seating. There's no arguing that. The back is not humongous for people to sit in. When you look inside from the back, got a lot of space to carry stuff, but when you fold the seats up, it's relatively cramped in the back, but it's still 3-row seating. But then again, he paid 20 grand for this vehicle. A brand new 5 Series, like I say, loaded like this with 3rd-row seating, that's $94,000. It's a lot more than $20,000. Now this 2011 460, as you can see here, made Japan. Quality. Check out the leather. Maybe 9 years old, but it's still in immaculate shape. And it's white. It's in excellent shape. These things are built quality. Check out the wood trim. Still shiny. These things are well made. Being 4-wheel drive and electronically controlled, it's got a lot of stuff for going down hills, high 4, low 4. These things are technological marvels. And as you can see, they got decent clearance. All-wheel drive, decent clearance. They can go just about anywhere. Big old V8 engine. This baby can tow up to 8,500 pounds. Let's say you want to tow your matching fancy boat behind you. No problem with this thing. As you can see under the hood, big old V8 engine. Puts out 301 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque. Good strong engine hooked up to an excellent transmission. 6-speed automatic with overdrive, and of course it has the direct shift. If you want, you can shift it yourself. Now, being a Lexus, it can last a long time, but always realize, you're getting a V8 engine, the starter is in a ridiculous position where you got to take half the engine apart. That costs a fortune. And check out the brake system. This has one of these very fancy brake master cylinder anti-lock brake systems. As with all machines, eventually everything wears out. That brake master cylinder wears out. You got to buy the whole assembly. And they can go anywhere from $1,200 to $1,700 just for the part. Understand that. They are well made. They don't break that often. But when they finally do, the last time I had a customer with one of these have a break, the car did have 250,000 miles on it, but they were just balking at, geez, that was $1,700 for that part. I said, well, unfortunately, that's how it's made. As we checked it out, he just bought it yesterday. It's only got 71,000 miles on it. It will probably be a really long time before it breaks down. Because they're solid built vehicles in Japan. Listen to the door. Solid. The all-wheel drive system, smooth, stable, pretty much seamless shifts. And being 2011, this V8 engine doesn't have those wonky rubber timing belts. It has a timing chain system. They last a really long time before any of it wears out. You did have to worry about the old Lexus V8 engines because they had rubber timing belts, and when they broke, pistons would hit the valves and ruin the engine. It was a very expensive job changing them. This is a chain. Change your oil regularly. You're not going to have any problems. So let's take it for a spin. We climb inside. Typical Lexus. Push the button. Starts right up. And like any Toyota product, freezing cold AC. First thing you notice driving, it's solid. It's heavy. It controls the road. And when you come to a stop, it is quiet. Turn the AC off and we won't even hear anything. Really quiet. Now I'll go from a standing start and drive. Let's see how it takes off. You can feel that power. You can hear that V8 humming along. And it handles quite well too for a big giant vehicle. You feel high up in the air, secure. Quite a bit different than driving that little smart car in front of us. I truly believe my customer made a very wise decision buying this for $20,000. Sure, it's 9 years old, but still runs pretty much like a brand new one does. Now, of course, it's not a gas miser. No large SUV is. This particular one gets about 14 in the city. and 19 on a highway in the best of days. That's not why you buy one of these vehicles for gas mileage. You want a big, dependable, go anywhere SUV. Look at the money you save buying this thing used. Really, I wouldn't advise going up to the 5 Series. Do you really want to pay $94,000 for one? He paid $20 for this, and it's in excellent shape. That's the advantage of buying a luxury SUV made in Japan by Lexus. They have so much quality, you don't care if they're older. They still can go a long time. Buying a used one, if you don't have to keep up with the Joneses and get the new model every year, you can save a ton of money and still get great quality. I mean, look at the paint. The thing's 9 years old. The only thing wrong here is my fingerprints where I touched it. And it's 9-year-old paint. It is insane how well built these things are. And of course, you want to carry even more stuff? There's a giant roof rack that's adjustable to put things on. And of course, the second row seats, they've got air conditioning. They've got all kinds of pluses. Comfy seats. Lookies, 9-year-old leather seats. You'd think they just made them. And this one has 70,000 miles. What has Scotty seen? I've seen some of these things with 450,000 miles on them, and they're still running quite well. Granted, a lot of those were pretty heavy highway mileage. It's less wear and tear. But still, they hold up. They still look like this. They're nice looking cars. And if you think about it, so what if when it's really old you gotta spend a couple of grand replacing the brake master cylinder? You saved over $35,000 buying the thing used anyway. So now you know the truth about a 9-year-old Lexus, big SUV. So you can make a wise decision the next time you're pondering buying an SUV that's got power and luxury, but isn't gonna fall apart. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Jose Lopez says, Scotty got a 76 Datsun 280Z, a nice classic car. And the thermostat gauge doesn't work. I changed the temperature sensor, still doesn't mark. My mechanic says the gauge works, but I'm not sure what's wrong. All right, well, something's wrong with the system. If it doesn't move, if it just stays there and doesn't move at all, either the temperature sending unit on the engine is bad, the wiring from that sensor to the dash unit is bad, or the dash unit is bad. And you got a pretty crappy mechanic, because he should be able to figure that out. That's a 5-minute test for any good mechanic. Start with another mechanic. That guy's an idiot, or he just doesn't care to work on your old car. Some guys don't like working on old cars. He's probably one of them. Go somebody who likes working on old cars, because it's a lot simpler and it's easy to fix. You either got a bad sending unit, you got a bad wire from the sending unit to the dash, or a bad dash unit. Any good mechanic can check that stuff out in like 10 minutes. Tyson Conrad said, nice 57 Bel Air in the background. That's my dream car, and I'm only 17. A 57 Chevy Bel Air is the bee's knees. That's the collector item. But they're worth so much money if they're original equipment. Friend of mine inherited one years ago. It was his father's baby. Even though it's a 57, this is like about 20 years ago. We're still old even then, right? His father was still alive and he owned it. It still had the plastic seat covers in the back, and it still had all the chrome around the windows, but it was a little bit pitted because of age. But it had the original paint and the original chrome with a little pitting which showed it was real. He used to take it to car shows, but he always won best in shows, so he stopped taking it to the car show. And his son was just waiting to inherit it to sell it for $100-something thousand. I haven't seen him in years. Maybe he got his wish and sold it for a bunch of money. I don't know. But they're awful expensive cars. Ray Garza says, I got in Tacoma. It blows cold AC when I'm driving, but at idle it doesn't, especially when it's hot and humid outside. I checked it with the gauge and it had refrigerant. All right, you got to make sure it's blowing enough air. And if that's a Tacoma, if you still have a mechanical fan that runs on the water pump, replace it with an electric fan on the radiator. That sucks more air, and then it'll get enough air to blow. Because if the fan isn't working right, your AC won't work right, but once you start moving, then you get more air because the car's moving and the air is being pushed through. Especially on a highway, you're going 60 miles an hour, you got 60 mile an hour wind blowing through the AC condenser in the car's radiator, truck's radiator, and it'll cool it down. So check that first. Now, you could be low in refrigerant. You could still have some in it. Have a mechanic check it with his machine. He's going to check the low pressure and high pressure. And it could just be low on refrigerant. It might just need some refrigerant because it'll do the same thing. That messes with the pressures too when it's low. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.